Shalom, call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Hashem Kodash, double honors to the all apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them, taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers up pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. From the elder Yashawan, shalom and salutations to you all. This is the World War III Daily Update. And I want you to go down a rabbit hole with me because I'm not quite sure. Let me see. I want to type in a search and say, see, because what they're doing right now in Minneapolis, right, is, and everywhere, what ICE is doing is they're being guided and they're using Palantir technology, right? Now, I want you to put these two things together with me. ICE in Minneapolis and in other places is being aided by AI and Palantir technology, right? And it's in real time. So as they're showing up in these different spots, they know who they're tracking and looking for, right? Because they're working in conjunction with the software that Palantir has provided for them, working hand in hand with ICE, and it's in real time. So I would suspect that it's being delivered by 5G towers, right? Some sort of internet, some sort of ability to communicate with ICE on the ground in real time, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, here's where I'm going with this, and here's how it links up with the World War III Daily Update. What has Minnesota got to do with the World War III Daily Update? Okay, here's what happened, and I'm gonna run this. We're gonna run a search right now because here's what they say happened in Iran. It said Iran, right? Let's look. Iran stops terrorist attack Slovakia. Iran stops terrorist attack by shutting down internet. See, because what happened was the terrorists that were attacking in Iran were using Palantir, were being guided. What happened was maybe, here's what happened, Slovakia. I believe that Babylon shut down the power, shut down the internet in Iran. Were able to do that. Babylon did that like they did in Venezuela. They shut the power down, right? And then they're using this Elon Musk. Musk immediately deployed his Starlink or whatever that shit's called, right? So that they can do that Palantir thing. And this is how, right? You know what? It was Morandi was explaining this. He explained that while Musk had his stuff in play, right? They were directing the terrorists to these different mosques and stuff that they were blowing up and burning down, and these terrorists were accomplishing their missions. But the moment they were able to shut Starlink down by using either Chinese or Russian technology, which is what they were saying, Israeli Mossad wasn't able to find their targets, and then they were stopped shortly after the Starlink went down or was defeated. So what I'm putting together for you, right, and I know I'm talking, here in Babylon, here's how you stop what's going on, right? The same way that the Iranians did. They thwarted that overthrow by shutting down what? The internet. First, the internet was shut down, and then they were able to shut down that Starlink, which is where those commands and those locations were coming from, right? And once you cut off the head of the snake, which was the communication system, which was coming from the head, which was Mossad, CIA, whoever, was running the operation. But it was thwarted. Why? Because of commo. Communications went down. All right. So anyway, let's see. So Iran used Russian or Chinese tech to stop attack. "12 days. Look at this. Look what comes up. Iran snatches Trump's advantage, uses secret Russian/Chinese tech to jam Starlink in it. This is exactly what I typed in right now. I typed it in right out of the spirit. Here's what comes up. The truth. Iran decimates regime change tool with Russian-China help. Military-grade tech jams Musk Starlink. So this is how you stop ICE. You jam the communication system so that they can't get the on-the-ground intelligence. Okay? Because they're using drone technology. They're using, satellite technology to guide these people and give them instructions on-the-ground instructions on what to do. You cut that off. That's how Iran was able to snatch Trump's advantage or decimate the regime change tool. Let's take a look at this. See which one is going to actually use words. So lucky, bear with. So, and let me get some precepts here.
Iran has crossed a dangerous new digital red line drawn by the Americans. The Iranian regime deployed military-grade jamming technology to shut down satellite internet, cutting off Starlink, the last lifeline protesters believed could keep them connected to the world. What began as an internet blackout has now escalated into a full-scale battle for control of space-based communication. But the more bigger question is how Iran achieved this, and was this supported by anti-US nations?
Here's the point. They're doing the same thing in Minneapolis right now. And what are they doing with that information? They're giving it to AI, right? And eventually that information will go into these robots and drones that will be policing you. Everything from movements and how to stop those movements to facial recognition and who are dissidents, and all of that information will be used, right, in the future to come against you. That's what's going on in Minnesota, among a lot of other things that are going on in Minnesota right now, with the fraud and the money laundering and whatever the hell is going on. The overall psyop. Those people are zombies. All those people can't be on the same hive mind. They're all hive-minded. If you look at them, they all are on that same thing. And that means either one thing: either they're all on the same script, they're all getting the same money, okay? Because there's a such thing as a crisis actor. There's a such thing as a paid protester, okay? And in certain enclaves, such as Seattle, Washington, or Portland, Oregon, those people make a living off of being paid protesters. So when you've done that all your life, when your biracial mom and dad have you start teaching you that, hey, it's not cool to do this, it's not good. And then they raise you at the age of 7 through 11 to go out and protest with them. That's shaping your ideals. To when the time that you're 18, you're out there doing what you believe in, and you next to you is your homie that you grew up with. You have that same hive mind, right? And that only exists in Minnesota. And outside of that, they got other people trained to go against those people. Okay? That's what you're looking at right now. So when all of these people, right, the whole fucking community is going up against ICE for what they believe in, right? That's some strong MK Ultra that goes back years, and they planned for this. It's no secret that George Floyd, see, people in different countries that have no regard or no love for any nigga ever were marching for George Floyd in different countries, okay? Telling you that that's a psyop. Where did it come out? It came out of Minnesota. What's going on right now? Big ass psyop coming out of Minnesota. And if you can't put that together, you're not paying attention. Okay? This is a war on your mind. I mean, yeah, there's a war on the ground, but as above, so below. These witches, these warlocks, right? Understand, I'm going to go right here. The military right? So that brings in World War III, right? And Michael Aquino, is it Aquino? The military and Michael Aquino. So what is this code for, right? Well, the military are a bunch of witches, okay? And this is a spiritual war. This is a holy war, okay? Why does this come up right away? Lieutenant Michael Aquino, Satan's soldiers in the U.S. Why does that just come straight up? Okay? Psychological warfare. Okay? What do you think it is? Palantir, and what is Palantir? That comes out of that, Game of Thrones and all of that mythical witchcraft, right? That they're injecting into you. Why? Because this is a spiritual war. And these motherfuckers are attacking. Okay? Okay, and we go right here. Let me get this, and let's do it in the spirit. Let me read this real quick. 1 Corinthians 2:14. The person without the Spirit does not accept the thing that come from the Spirit of God, but considers them foolishness and cannot understand them, because they are discerned only through the Spirit. Now let me show you a rendition of that. This is Joel 3:9. Joel 3:9 says, Joel 3:9. Now let's read it in the Spirit. Proclaim this among the nations. Prepare for spiritual war. Rouse the witches. Let all the witches and the warlocks draw near and do what? Attack. In what? In this holy war, right? The witches and the warlocks, where are they at? Go back to Michael Aquino. The witches and the warlocks of the U.S. military. You see what's going on? In the holy war called World War III. That's how it adds up. It's a spiritual war. They know that. Look at them fighting spiritually. Psychological warfare. Okay, men that stare at goats. Okay, you're at war, buddy. All right. So, I mean, how did we start this damn thing? This is witchcraft, the regime change tool and all of this, right? Starlink, all right? Stand now with your, we can stand now. Let's go back. Okay? So anyway, they're attacking. The witches and the warlocks are attacking, right? And what are they doing? They're using consecrate, all right? They're using everything they got. They're coming with everything. They're coming with witchcraft, right? What did when Pharaoh went to war with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, what did he do? He brought out the magicians and that witchcraft. He brought out his best witches, Janus and Jambres. And they fought a spiritual war and a physical war. And Pharaoh got that ass whooped on all accounts, right? And that's what we're watching right now. They're calling it World War III, right? And we're down here, we're fighting, we're doing our part. We're forward observers on the ground, right? What are we, watchmen? Right? Let's get that. We're forward observers on the ground. Anyway, they're attacking. Wake up. It's a spiritual war. All right? You're involved in it whether you want to be or not. Ezekiel. Ezekiel. 3. Forward observers. What is a forward observer? You're in the fucking service. Ezekiel 3 and 17, Son of man, I made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Wherefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Watchman. Salaki. Did I read that wrong? I read it by memory. Son of man, I made thee a watchman to the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Where did that come from? Berean. What are the differences? Son of man, I've made you, not thee, a watchman for, not of, for the house of Israel. Whenever you hear a word from my mouth, give them a warning from me. So, with that, we hope that the elect are edified, you brothers and you sisters.